Hey everybody, how's it going? We're
Oh no.
sorry. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm sitting here with Jake and we're in Las Vegas for CES this week and wanted to take a little time and talk to everybody about a really neat opportunity that we put out there this year and got some great ideas from all of you and wanted to share some of those ideas with you. This was actually a suggestion from Cara in Detroit Lakes when she represented her store in her district at the Lakeville Leadership Retreat and said, hey, we should be sharing all the essays that were submitted as ideas, the winning essays. And so Jake and I are here together at CES and thought we'll come to you live and talk to you about those essays and ideas. So Jake, there they are.
Absolutely. First one, we're going to start with Cara, who actually inspired this whole video. What Cara wrote her essay about was really about educating our customers a little bit better to use their devices. Phone tips and tricks, basically. That way when they leave, they can be experts with the new devices they purchased as well. One thing she actually talked about was wireless workshops, again, being kind of instituted into our company, which Jason Princeton actually presented in Lakeville, and you've all probably hosted now. So that one's really cool because Cara wrote it. It actually was in the works, and now we're kind of launching it again, and we've had some huge success. Holly sent a picture out. The Albert Lee team over the weekend just had an awesome turnout. So Cara, thank you for that note, and to see it get off the ground and kind of successfully be back in our company has been awesome.
Great. Well, yeah, and it kind of making sure that the customer leaves their store knowing how to use their phone and knowing some of the tips and tricks of the phone is something that I think has really always been important to who we are as a company and making sure that we're maintaining a competitive advantage over an online presence or something like that.
Right.
So who's next?
Yeah, next we kind of got three that are kind of community based. I'm going to try and pair them all together, but we had Becky Corbett in Redwood Falls who really just wrote kind of about working within the community and helping. When she had applied for the job, I think she mentioned that, how can a cell phone job necessarily be rewarding? And she kind of made a reference. She was working with an elderly customer who really just wanted to play solitaire on their new device. That was it. Didn't even necessarily care they were getting a new device. Her being able to help that customer and kind of just really make a difference in our communities. We don't necessarily have a target customer, she said. I mean, we really just want to make a difference in our community. So that's how Becky stated she could make B-Mobile a better company, which kind of then leads
some customers, that's all they want to do is play solitaire on their phones. But I've noticed actually yesterday on the flight into Las Vegas, the guy next to me played Candy Crush the whole
Candy Crush.
Candy Crush. Is that it? I had to actually ask him. It was a bunch of pink and green and yellow, and I said, hey, what are you playing? And he said Candy Crush, and I hadn't heard of it, so I guess that's maybe the new thing out there.
Right, absolutely, yeah. Candy Crush, Snapchat filters, all that stuff. Most people use like 3 to 5 things on their phone. If we can show them how to use it, make them experts, we're doing our job. So
good.
Lindsay up in Minot South, she also kind of contributed something about just kind of having a positive attitude and what that means in a store. And one thing I think I kind of wanted to highlight Lindsay for, she didn't necessarily write this in her Voice of the Sales Partner essay, but kind of exemplifies why she was proudly selected. We were just talking about Candy Crush and Snapchat filters and all that. Well, Lindsay, on kind of the other side of the coin, recently had a transaction where she was helping a recently widowed woman essentially get all the content, all the pictures off her now deceased husband's phone. So we're doing more than selling phones. I mean, it's really, that's a game changer in that person's life to be able to treasure those memories and, a really, really difficult situation, but end up getting, I think, a bouquet of flowers from that customer. So Lindsay just wanted to highlight, yes, a positive attitude is important, even in what was a extremely difficult situation, I'm sure, for your customer and for yourself kind of working through that scenario. I think really kind of didn't write about it in your essay, but I can tell that carries it through kind of throughout. So kudos on that one.
And Lindsay, when you talk about positive attitudes, she's got a really positive attitude and gives really great hugs. So
yes.
Thank you, Lindsay, for that.
And she had a boot in Lakeville. She had a boot. The boot is now off, so we're glad you're feeling better. And yes,
that's right.
Despite the boot, great hugs.
Limping around with a boot.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Chanel down in Spencer, same thing. Kind of proposed a community event and, how can we collect food for those in need, or how can we leverage kind of the traffic in our stores to make a positive difference in our community. So we haven't necessarily formally gone down that road yet, but we're starting to kind of kick around the idea of, how can we kind of take that next step? We've done the backpack promotion for the past few years now, and we've done some various, VIP event and some public safety kind of stuff, but how can we leverage all the traffic that we get from our customers to really make positive impact? So that was a great idea from Chanel.
Great, and that's awesome. And our Q4, I think we've talked a little bit about some of the opportunities that they have for charitable giving, and I think that's something that you're working on right now and might be something for them down the road.
Yep, absolutely. 2018, hopefully we can find something there to, again, make another difference.
Okay, who's next?
Next one, Scott Sitch, business account executive out of Fargo South University. So a couple things actually. He had essentially like RQ feature that the cellular communication stores were using that we weren't, to kind of help better manage DOA inventory. That's something we're looking into right now, how to make that process smoother and more efficient for you guys in the field. And then a business account mentorship he also wrote about, which I think we've all heard about SMB over really the past 6 months to a year, and it's going to be a huge focus for our company going forward. So the fact Scott would be willing to propose that idea, being a full-time business account executive, how can we help develop our field in that realm, I thought was just awesome. So it was great to have Scott there.
That is a neat idea, because that was one of the things that you and I heard when we sat down with all the attendees in the small groups. We really heard a lot of you guys asking for more education around SMB and that small business account analysis and how to even do it better. So that great idea. I can see why that would be selected.
Yeah, absolutely. Next one goes to Tucker Lee, who was in Waverly at the time. He's now in Marshalltown, but ironically enough, he talked about training and traveling in multiple locations, which shortly after October 1st, Tucker was in Marshalltown. He was in Albert Lee, kind of all over the board. He actually now has transferred to Marshalltown, so kind of that ability how he can make it a better place is really working in different locations, seeing different customers, interacting with different employees, finding new ways to position and kind of constantly better himself. So I thought it was just really well thought out and almost kind of fortune telling that now all of a sudden he went the next really 6 weeks just on the road. So thank you, Tucker, for your efforts.
It's
and
kind
for
of
the foresight in your essay.
Yeah, that's almost like, practicing what you preach.
All right.
He puts out this nice essay in the Voice of the Sales Partner essay, and then 2 weeks later almost we're asking him to step up and say, hey, here's Marshalltown, here's Eau Claire, and he did a great job in moving around and was highlighted, of course, for all that work. So along with many of the other salespeople that helped out in that transition in Marshalltown. So tell us about the next one.
Yeah, and this is probably the last one, certainly not the least. Chantel down in Montevideo, she wrote about the peer-to-peer program, which at the time she was kind of beta testing for us. She was facilitating calls with new hires once they become commissionable. How can we overcome certain objections? How can we just really get them up to speed quickly? So since then, that's been a program we've actually instituted all the way across. So every time there's a new hire, many of you have recently been hired, have been going through that program, which Chantel was one of the originals in that. She wrote about it in her essay, and just, again, wanted to recognize her and highlight her for writing the essay and all the work that went into kind of getting that program off the ground.
Sure. Well, yeah, and the peer-to-peer program, I think it was bumpy to get it started because there's webinars and calls and it was scheduling challenges, but I think as you guys have found the rhythm with it, it's really been a program that is helping new sales partners get better in their roles quicker, and that's something we talk a lot about, is developing people. Scott's idea of a business mentorship, the peer-to-peer program, lots of ideas around making our teams better. So thank you, Jake. I think that's just awesome, and I guess I would just encourage every one of you guys, if you have a suggestion on how to make Be Mobile better, the Voice of the Sales Partner is something that we've done for a few years now, and we picked the winning essay that you guys would write and suggest how we could make Be Mobile better, and the winning essay then represents your district in Lakeville, and that's something that will be coming down the road soon. And just want to thank you guys live here from the Golden Nugget Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. And also, I guess I was thinking as we were getting ready to film, Jake, I'd love to take just a moment and say, what can people be excited about? Coming into 2018, I know this wasn't scripted or anything, but just off the cuff, what are you kind of excited about as you step into 2018?
Yeah, 2018. 2017, a year of a lot of growth, a lot of change, a lot of transition as a company. I think 2018, we really kind of get to refine everything. I think with all the excitement that went along, there was probably some things where we were going 1,000 different directions. I think we're really set. We got a good set of priorities this year. SMB is going to be a big focus. How can we accelerate customer life cycles? How can we kind of focus on some of the things that allowed us to grow leading up to the acquisition last year and kind of continue to refine all our new markets? So I'm excited. New signage on all the doors, I think, at the end of 2018 is going to be a big, big win. I think we're doing 10 projects, so remodels, relocations. We're hoping to add a few doors along the way. So really exciting year. 5G looming on the horizon for Verizon. So whatever that's going to mean, I think it's going to be a big year of change and just exciting all around.
Yeah, 5G. I actually heard in the taxi cab today that 2018 is going to be considered for CES, or the Consumer Electronics Show, the year of the robot. So I don't know what that means, but evidently there's a lot of robots over on the show floor. So thanks guys for watching. I hope everybody has a great day. Make it a terrific day, and thank you so much for all you guys do.